Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 2 December 2021. Thursday night at 9 o'clock, it is time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Another Christmas shopping extravaganza full of cool, diverse, eclectic, and significant cutlery. I think we've got 32 items or so for you tonight. All knives, all singles. Before we get into the meat of the sale, a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. They will also be reprinted in the description underneath this video. Also in the description, which is heavily laden with important info, at the very top, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first is to my Primer for Buyers video. That one gives you a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale, why we do things, and how. It is worth watching if you have just stumbled upon this weekly event. The second link to my FAQs for Consignors video, if you're interested in moving some of your collection along and you'd like to not have much effort in it and just have cash roll in, you want to send me your knives to sell, watch that video. It explains how it all works from the consignor's perspective. The third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the ApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. And guys, right now, as we approach the Christmas season, it usually gets a little slow. Backlog under 3 weeks. So this would be the time if you've got some dull knives to send them in. Okay, so you're going to see those 3 links in the description, then the terms of the sale, then at the very bottom, the list of inventory, complete with timestamps and pricing. In the pricing column, the number on the left is your as shown price. Number on the right, as sharpened by the ApostleP Knife Service. You'll see a few tonight that don't have as sharpened prices because they've already got my edge on them. Also in the pricing column, if you see the word sold, exclamation point, in lieu of pricing, that knife is bought and paid for. No need to send and I'll take it. We will offer next day sharpening this week for the first 6 knife purchased to be sharpened this evening. Those will be done and shipped tomorrow the 3rd with all of the as shown inventory. If you fall outside the first 6, only 3 weeks before your sharpened knife will ship. I think that's about it for the preliminaries. Let's get you the terms up on the screen, and we'll be right back with the inventory. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we're going to have 3 leftovers from last week. And frankly, this one shocks me. From Spyderco, Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. We have a paramilitary 2 with a very long model number. This one is that unicorn para 2 with the OD green G10, black hardware, and DLC coated S30V blade. This was a JB Outman exclusive. They made very few of these. They came and they went, and they are highly sought after. It seems like I sold a couple of these less than a year ago that sold for north of $300, which kind of was the going rate. They are very hard to find. We ran this one last week for $275. No takers. Dropped it to $245 on Saturday. Still here. Somebody gets a buy tonight. $225. And by the way, centering is dead. Action is stupendous. And lockup is rock solid. Like new in the box. $225 like it is, $245 with an Apostle P edge. That's in your inventory is Spyderco Pair 2 OD DLC. Next up. Ooh, this is going to be a buy. From Bergblades, established 2013, we have a production version of the Bergblades Iron Pup in CPM 20 CV blade steel with titanium handle and titanium hardware. Here is the Iron Pup. And there must be some kind of an acid treatment to go along with that tumble because it's got a very dark gray cast. Very cool looking knife. Titanium frame lock, nicely crowned scales, titanium backspacer, milled titanium clip, steel inserted lock interface, ball bearing pivot, thumb stud deployment, gorgeous little clip point blade. 2 7/8 is your blade length, backed up by a 3 7/8 handle. Super nice in hand. Got a little choil if you got stubby fingers. You should be able to fit in that. Nice jimping on the spine. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. Ball bearing action is smooth and free. Centering is perfect. Condition on the Iron Pup like new in the box. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available at web retailers, they were $305. We ran this last week for $250. No takers. Dropped it to $210 on Saturday. Still here. Somebody gets to buy the Bergblades production Iron Pup this week for $190 and then $215 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if you're one of the first 6. That's the Bergblades Iron Pup production. Next up, another surprise leftover from the Frenchman with the Asian sounding name Tashi Bharucha design. We have a stunning piece of mechanical sculpture. This is the Tashi Bharucha Krypton. A titanium frame lock knife. I love the milled cuts in the handle to kind of match Tashi's Maker's Mark milled titanium clip. Even the lock bar relief carries over that Maker's Mark theme. Now, I blew over this last week, and my buddy Chris from Tennessee sent me an email saying, hey, if you would have mentioned this, maybe your knife would have sold. This has the Lee Williams kickstop. So I can't remember the model of the Kershaw that Lee Williams designed the deployment mechanism for, but this front-looking flipper is not actually part of the blade tang. It is a separate pivoting device that serves as a flipper and then a stop when the knife is open. And notice, nothing protruding below the handle. That kickstop is still right here. I think when I break it loose, you can see that. See how that works? Makes super snappy flipping action and no protrusion from the bottom of the handle. So you got a CPM 154 blade, beautifully horizontally set and finished. 3 inches in length, 4 1/8 handle. Steel inserted titanium frame lock with that 3 o'clock position, which I love. Rock solid lockup. Super smooth ball bearing action. Perfect centering. Conditions like new in the pouch. These are currently available at Blade HQ, maybe among others, for $375. We ran this one last week for $300, dropped it to $270 on Saturday. This week, my consignor is blowing it out, guys. $225 like it is, $250 with an Apostle P edge. Wow. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Tashi Bharucha Krypton. Next up, we got a knife with a story, boys. Comes in a non-factory, hard-sided nylon pouch. No box. You might understand why when I tell you the story. This is the Benchmade 9050. What is that? A SBK? Because it is a black-coated blade with the combo edge. Oh, yep, it's the original AFO. It has that Almar sear patterned handle, hard anodized black aluminum, button lock auto with the spine safety, 154 cm. I guess we'll call that a drop point with a big old swedge. The old BK1 coating showing its wear. Why? Why all the wear? Well, this knife was purchased circa 1990. It belonged to an American serviceman who carried it in battle. It spent 1990 and 91 in Desert Storm at Iraqi theater. Then in 1993, this knife went with its owner to Somalia. It was retired in 1994. Retired from duty. Awesome Benchmade automatic action. Rock solid lockup. Centering, I think, was off just a little. Just a little to the left. As it should be. So we'll call that excellent to battle worn, no box. Your price on this one, $150 like it is. $170 with an ApostleP edge. That is the Benchmade 9050 AFO Auto. Next up, oh, we got a couple knives that are heavily accessorized. Did I bump my camera? This one from Spyderco. And the box is just going to say Para 3 Black. So it started life as a black G10 scaled, black DLC bladed, Para 3. In the bag here, you're going to see the factory black scales, the factory black clip, factory black screws for the clip, and probably a black lanyard too. Yeah. But look at this, guys. Oh my. Ooh. It is wearing a set of gray G10 scales. Aramis Akhmedov is the maker of the scales. A beautiful fine mill pattern. I hope the camera's picking that up. And then it's got a custom lanyard tube block off plug, an MXG black coated titanium deep carry clip. There is your black DLC coated S30V blade. Very little wear on the entire knife. Rock solid lockup. Nice free action. Blade centering is very close to perfect, if not perfect. We'll call this one near mint in box. Total investment for the original owner for the knife and the accessories, $265. Your price, $185 like it is, $205 with an ApostleP edge. That's in your inventory. Spyderco Para 3 Cust scales. Okay, I got a big reach here. I'll be right back. Oh, next up we have a pile of stuff. A pile, a veritable pile. Okay, we have a box with a red horse Hinderer knives made in the USA. Inside the box came a DLT exclusive XM18 3-inch and M390 with the Swedged spear blade, tri-way pivot, and battle bronze with flat dark earth G10. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Let's show you the knife as outfitted. I dropped something because there is a pile of crap here. A pile, not crap, expensive Hinderer accessories. Okay, the knife is wearing a purple micarta scale, copper hardware, screws, nuts, standoffs, fill tab, male pivot pin. It is running on the ball bearings. There is your working finish M390 blade. It has been user sharpened lovingly. Lockup is rock solid. There's your engagement. Centering is perfect, or close to it as it could be. Flipping action, great. Okay, now I'm going to show you all the other stuff. Okay, the original pivot screw, the original standoffs, the original looks like battle bronze fill tab, the original flat dark earth G10 scale, the original set of body screws, the original Hinderer lock bar stabilizer, the original working finish standoffs, the original bright stainless body nuts. Here is a working finish pivot screw. Here is a battle bronze scale. So take your pick of the 3 scales that you get. Here is a working finish lock bar stabilizer. Here is a set of working finish stainless steel screws and working finish body nuts. All that, guys, all that stuff that all can be interchanged on this little XM 3-inch. My seller, who bought all this stuff new, has $938 in this knife with accessories. It can all be yours for $600 like it is, $625 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Hinderer XM18 3-inch Swedged spear. Next up, our first of 3 Bark River knives this week. This one in kind of a smallish box. This is the Bark River City knife in LMAX. I think it's sort of a variant on the Essential, it seems to me. Kind of a little smaller, a little simpler than the Essential. It's going to come in a totally ambidextrous, neckable carry, beltable carry, leather sheath. Here is the knife. We'll call that a Swedged spear point blade in LMAX with the Mike Stewart highly secret heat treat. Blade length is 2.5 inches. Handle length 3.5. You got aluminum Corby bolts, a lanyard tube, and a little aluminum mini guard, I guess you'd call it. Not really a bolster. Super nice in hand. Great little EDC blade. Looks like 1/8 inch stock, aggressively distal tapered. Condition on this one's going to be near mint in box, and for good measure, we got a little OD green, maybe it's almost like a gray green. Cool. Tied lanyard, very nice. Near mint in box. Let's see, brand new. This knife would have been about $240 at your favorite web dealer. It can be yours for $195 like it is, and then $220 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Bark River City knife. Next up, we got one from Maniago. From Maniago, Italy. Fox Knives. Love their new box, by the way. And this is a very cool Fox fixed blade. It is a ring-tailed Karambit in a beautifully made Kydex sheath with a very nice buckle. Ooh, nice little snap coming out of the sheath. Got a little bird's eye going on. Blade is N690 CO2 and 3/8 inches long. Handle is aggressively textured, nicely milled G10. Removable scales. Handle length is 4.5. We'll call this one like new in the box. Current web price on these brand new is $124 at your favorite web retailer. This one can be yours for 90 bucks like it is. 115 with an Apostle P edge. That is the Fox FX 598 Karambit. Next up, it is the hunting season, my friends. And Buck has us covered in a woodland camo sheath. And I like how the sheath wraps the rubber handle, because that rubber is kind of sticky, grippy, and stuff is going to slide off of it. Look at the way they got that sheath made. Very nicely done. Nice positive snap. This is the Buck Omni Hunter. You got a blade of 3 1/4 inches in 420 HC hollow ground with a gut hook, and then a rubber handle, a Krypton-like substance, super positive, not sticky, but you're not going to slip. You know what I mean? Handle length is 4 3/8. We'll call this one like new, no box. These I think are currently available. I'm not sure in this configuration. Nice snap into that sheath. Nice package. No box with this one. You can buy a new one for 40 bucks or something like it for 40 bucks in this model. Handle color, blade finish might differ, but this one can be yours. No shipping charges, no sales tax, 30 bucks priority mail, all in, 50 with my edge on it. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Buck Omni Hunter. Next up, we have one from Puma in a cool little box. This is the Puma SGB series, and this is the Sonic Flipper. The Sonic Flipper. How about this, guys? Would you look at that? Yes, those are carbon fiber scales. Yes, that is the Puma round shield. It has stainless steel liners. One of them locks the knife open. You have a deep carry pocket clip that looks like it's going to be right hand only, tip down. And then you've got a protrusion from the spine of the knife. And when you press on it, better than I did, out flies that classic Puma Bowie-shaped blade. Look at that. Look at that. Blade steel on the Sonic is 4116 Krups, or 1.4116, the new designation. 3 5/8 is your blade length. 4 5/8 is your handle length. Liner lockup is rock solid. Ball bearing action on ceramic bearings, by the way, is stupendous. Centering is kind of dead down the middle. It's near mint in box. Price on these at your favorite web retailer is going to be about $149. This one can be yours. $110 shipped priority mail. And I believe this is already wearing a polished edge. Yeah, it is, and it's a pretty nice one. I'm not touching it. No need. Okay? So 110 bucks all in on the Puma Sonic SGB flipper. Next up, it's another Puma, and from another Puma product line. This is the Puma Tech 314213 flipper. And I don't think this is an American market knife, because all the web listings I found for this were printed in a foreign language, and the money was all in euros. So if it has an English name, I don't know what it is. Okay? But here you go. It's a pretty cool knife. This appears to be a hard anodized aluminum handle, and it is a frame lock knife with a steel insert, much like an AL series or A series Lionsteel. But check out the skeletonization, and check out the ball bearing clip retention. And that appears like it'll go either way, left or right hand tip up. And we have a ball bearing flipper D2 blade with an interesting, it almost looks like a hamon, I don't know. if that's what that is. Or, yeah, I think it is. I don't know. Pretty cool. Rock solid lockup. Centering is beautiful. Cool knife. 3 7/8 inches of, dare I say, lamb foot. And then it's backed up by a 5-inch handle. So yeah, and this one also has a polished edge by its owner that doesn't need any work from me. Okay, so these sell online for 123 euros-ish and up. This one can be yours, shipped priority mail, $90 US. No need to sharpen. The Puma Tech 314213 flipper. Next up, from the Benchmade Knife Company, Oregon City, Oregon, we got, this is like an old pair of Levi's, guys. It's a 580 Barrage. Still in production, as far as I know. There are some available at your favorite web retailer. You got your plastic handle scales. I can't remember which variant they call this. Is it Normal GTX? Is it, I don't know. It's one of them. You've got a Parkerized split arrow pocket clip. And you have one of the most stunning drop spear blades I've ever seen. 154 cm blade steel. Warren Osborne design. Beautiful stonewash. Unmolested edge. Warren's edge seems to be a little blotchy on this one. Who cares? It's a Barrage. Benchmade Axis Assist mechanism. Lockup is solid as a rock. Centering is dead. We'll call the condition near mint in box. Current web pricing on these brand new is $144 plus tax most places nowadays. This one can be yours. No sales tax. No shipping charges. All in, priority mail shipped, $120 like it is, $140 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Benchmade 580 Barrage. Next up, man, I'll tell you what, if I've ever seen one of these, I don't remember it. Okay, I'm just saying. From Spyderco, by way of Seki City, Japan, we have an Endela serrated. So Endela, exactly, right? Endela, from Endura, Endelica. This is the mid-size. So the handle length is 4 11/16, which is a 1/4 inch shorter than an Endura. And you can see it's kind of clipped at the back. The blade length is 3 7/16, and it's shaped more like a Delica than it is an Endura, in my opinion. VG10 blade steel. You got your full spider edge on this one. Rock solid lockup. Nice free action for that mid-lock. Blade centering is, it's close. The chisel grind of that spider edge makes it look a little funky, but it's very close to centered. Everything's beautiful. We're going to call this one near mint in box. A little bit of wear on the pocket clip. Okay. Map price on these brand new. Your favorite retailer is $87.50. This one can be yours. Shipped, all in. No postage, no sales tax. $60 like it is. $80 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Endela. Next up, it's another Spidey. It's another FRN Seki City lockback. This is the Matriarch 2. You know, I had one of these and I sold it, and I'm not sure why. It's such a cool knife. Such a cool knife. Black FRN handle with the volcano grip, black clip, and one of the scariest knife blades ever made. With a full spider edge. Oh, VG10. 3.5 inch blade, 4 15/16 inch Endura handle. Centering's dead. Action's beautiful. Lockup is perfect. Let's see. We're going to call this like new in the box. Web pricing on these, minimum advertised price $115.50 at your favorite retailer. This one can be yours $85 like it is. No need for me to touch that spider edge. It's beautiful. It's the Spyderco Matriarch 2. Next up, we have a theme going. It's a Spyderco. It's from Seki City. This is an Endura flat ground WC. Because there's one born every minute. Black FRN Endura handle, black clip, bright hardware, and look at that stunner, would ya? The Wharncliffe Endura. That is a bad Moda Scuda. VG10 blade. Oh, think that'll open the mail? I think it will. Rock solid lockup. Beautiful action. Centering is going to favor the right ever so slightly. It's like new in the box. These currently available at your favorite web retailer for $91. Plus tax, plus shipping probably. This one can be yours all in. Priority postage paid. $75 like it is. $95 with an ApostleP edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That is the Spyderco Endura Wharncliffe. Next up. It's a Spyderco, but it's not from Japan. This box has no label, so it must be a replacement box. This one comes from Taichung. It is the legend, the Spyderco Sage. When this knife came out, there were no numbers. It was just a Sage. Today we call it a Sage 1. You get your carbon fiber over G10 laminate handle scales. You have your black PVD coated deep carry paperclip clip. You have a leaf-shaped Sage blade in S30V, 3 inches in length. As most all Sage 1s have. Beautiful action. Beautiful lockup and beautiful centering. It's near mint in that generic box. These are discontinued now, and they are out of stock now. The last price I saw for an old listing, Spyderco map pricing, was $135. You can't buy a new one for $135, but you can buy this one very close to new and a beautiful example for $120, like it is, $140 with an ApostleP edge. I always say this: every Spyderco collection needs to have a Sage 1. So there. Next up, from Kizer, we have a pretty cool little knife, I have to say. From their Vanguard series, the V3566N1 Swayback. Very interesting little knife, I got to say. Blasted and 3D machined purple G10. Ambidextrous tip-up pocket clip. Button lock flipper. Super positive detent. Look at that ball bearing action. I mean, I'm afraid, guys, that this is the button lock flipper Hogue wishes they could make. I'm telling you what, that thing, and ProTech too, they wish they could make. Wow, look at that. 2.99 inch blade. We'll call it 3 inches. 4 inch is your handle length. My only problem with this knife, that most of the time you want to use a swayback for this kind of a draw cut, like a potato peel cut. The flipper really gets in the way. Because you kind of want, I don't know. Anyway, just use it like that. It's fine. Super cool knife, guys. Rock solid lockup. You saw the action. And the centering, like most Kizers, is dead down the middle. I'm not sure you can see that. There. Yeah. Like new in the box. Web pricing on these is $59. This one can be yours. And of course, at $59, you're going to pay shipping and you're going to pay sales tax. This one can be yours. $45 shipped priority mail. All in, $45. And then if you like my edge on it, add $20. $65 sharpened. The Kizer V3566N1 Swayback. Next up, this might be the biggest, boldest two-sun knife I've ever seen. Two-sun knives designed and made in Yangjing, China. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Chinese knife company, putting it on their box with pride. I can respect that in an odd way. Okay, inside the box we have the Tucson TS329 Vandal. Titanium handle, button lock mechanism with ball bearings and carbon fiber inserts. A milled titanium clip with ceramic ball retention. And I want you to look at the tip and the way it fits into the groove in the backspacer so nicely. Then I thought, well, how do you open it? Can you sweep it? Not really. You have to pinch it open. Well, how about you just push the button and fling it? That's how I do it. Yeah. How about that? So, big knife, guys. 3 15/16 inches of drop point blade, beautiful stone wash, and a fuller. Blade steel is 14C28N. Handle 5.5 inches of real estate. Yeah. How about that? It's like new in the box. I couldn't find any of these new in retail stock. I did find some sold listings on eBay, and they look like new sellers, right? And these are selling, guys. Transacting between $164 and $205 American dollars, and most of these are shipped from China for free. This one can be yours. Shipped, all in, priority mail, $145 like it is. $165 with an Apostle P edge. It's the Tucson TS329 Vandal. Next up. Okay, I am not a balisong guy. I am a knife guy. So I don't get this knife, but I know some of you will. This is from Squid Industries, and I call it a knife as a euphemism. This is the Blemished Triton Trainer from Squid Industries in blue hard anodized aluminum. So yeah, there you go. This is a flipping trainer and has righteous action. There's your play. It's super slight. Action is super free. I am not a balisong flipper, but anyway. Who cares what the blade steel is? It's stonewashed stainless steel. The blade length is 4 3/16. The handle length is 5 7/16. These knives are not in stock anywhere. Some of the other Squid models are available on eBay, but not this color of a blemished Triton. I think it's worth more than this, just looking at the references I could find. But your price, $75 shipped. That is the Squid Industries Blemished Triton Trainer. Next up, I hope I say this name right. I have no idea. From Miguron Knives, that's as close as I can get. And there's your pouch. Inside the pouch comes the Miguron Pryor, Preyer flipper. You've got a 5 1/4 inch titanium handle, a fully milled titanium clip, a steel inserted titanium frame lock. You have thumb studs that work if you get your thumb on them. You have a flipper. You have a ball bearing pivot. You have a perfect centering. You have great flipping action, rock solid lockup, and a very interesting blade. Blasted bevel, horizontal satin flats, and I guess it's a trito, edge, yokote, edge, yokote, edge. So 3 edges, 3 facets, interesting. Blade length is 3 7/8. We'll call this one near mint in pouch. And by the way, it says somewhere, number 46 of 90. These are out of stock currently. When they were in stock, they were $170 at your favorite web retailer. This one can be yours. $130 shipped, priority mail, and then $155 with an Apostle P edge. I should have charged more because that's 3 edges to sharpen anyway. Yeah, so $130 like it is, $155 sharpened on the Migueron Prior Flipper. Time to turn the page, boys. Come on. Turn, baby. Next up, from the olden times, from Lionsteel, and it comes in a very interesting box, and all of its goodies are in there. This is the the Lionsteel ROK, R-O-K. This one in a beautiful kind of tip of the hat to Jim Skelton. Aubergine anodized titanium. It's sort of bronze. It's sort of purple. Sort of eggplant. Don't know what that means. I've seen the emojis, but I don't know what it means. You've got that spring extension clip. You've got the roto block. You've got the steel inserted titanium frame lock. You got a ball bearing flipper. And you have a hand signed blade from Nut and Fancy. TNP edition, March of 2020, number 41 of 75. Blade steel is M390. Blade is 3 5/16 inches long. The handle 4 7/16. It is near mint to like new in box. So the ROK in titanium in this finish is out of stock at $350 in stock form. This is a numbered 1 of 75 Nut and Fancy edition. Your price, here you go, TNPers, $400 like it is, $425 with an Apostle P edge. That is the Lionsteel ROK TNP. Next up, what's that? You like Nut and Fancy Lionsteels, but you don't have $400? Well, let's take a look at the first Lionsteel Nut and Fancy edition knife. This is the SR1A TNP edition. If you remember, the SR1 and SR1A came in a drop point only. Old Nuttin called them up and said, "Make me a clip point, bitches." And they did. So, Nut and Fancy 2015 hand signed. And then the Lionsteel etch says TNP, what does that say, 184? Steel is D2, DLC coated. Purple hard anodized aluminum handle. Steel inserted frame lock. Reversible tip up deep carry. DLC coated clip. This one has really nice action, guys. It does really. I'm not right-handed. For a nylon washered SR knife. And the centering is pretty squared away. Condition on this is going to be near mint, no box. Your price, $250, like it is, $270 with an Apostle P edge, and next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Lionsteel SR1A TNP. Next up, there is a theme going on. This one from Spyderco. It is a Dragonfly 2 Black Blade S35VN. What? Powder blue FRN handle. Black hardware. Black deep carry paperclip clip. DLC coated S35 VN blade. And what? Can you see it? Oh! There it is. So it's number 116 of 579. Nothing fancy, TNP edition from December of 2019. It's a Dragonfly 2. Nice free action. Centering is going to favor the left side. Very hard to see there. Lockup is rock solid condition. Like new in the box. Your price on this one, $140 like it is. $160 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. It's the Spyderco Dragonfly 2 TNP. Next up, I teased you with this one yesterday in my heads up video. I love this knife. From Zero Tolerance. Yes, there is 10 years of lint in the G10. Yes, there is lint inside the handle. Yes, the ZT logo is just about worn off the clip. Yes, it has been used. It has been, I'm going to say, touched up. The DLC coating, not looking much worse for the wear. Serial number 163. ZT0550BLK. Very early one. So I think that makes it, I think it's a second generation because of the deep carry clip, if I think. Pretty sure. Wow. Non-inserted titanium frame lock. Absolutely beautiful. No rock, no play, no stick. Centering is pretty much dead. And guys, you do not need ball bearings. I'm telling you what. Phosphor bronze. ZT does them, I mean, flawlessly. So this is going to be, I'm going to classify this excellent no box. It's just a sweet old girl. These knives are doing, because they're now discontinued, have been for a while, and out of stock, between $200 and $300, and some of them are doing over $300 sold listings on eBay. This one, $190 like it is, $210 with an Apostle P edge, next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. Next up, we have a Benchmade prototype of the 318 proper. Wearing the OD canvas micarta handle scales. A clip point S30V blade. Notice the long pull on one side. Looks like it was put in there with a key cutter. This is an October of 2016 prototype S30V blade. I gotta say, they had some work to do, because I call on a normal proper, I say the action is proper, meaning it sucks. Well, this is kind of worse. It's super gritty. I don't know. It's not satisfying in the least. Condition, though, is going to be near mint to like new, no box. The production version of this knife is right now out of stock at $127 MAP pricing at your favorite retailer. This is a prototype. It's kind of got some issues, but it's a prototype. Your price, $90 like it is, $110 with an Apostle P edge. The Benchmade 318 proper prototype. Next up, holy cow, time to head to Escanaba. We got one from Bark River Knives. We have an Aurora Hunter in CPM 3V. Now, this made me smile when I opened this box, because last time I was in Mike's office, and that was pre-COVID, sorry, there was a knife laying on his desk in black canvas micarta, and I looked at it and I said, huh, that looks like a smaller Kalahari 2 with an Aurora handle, and that's exactly what it is. Would you look at that? The Kalahari 2 is my meat carver of choice. That's all that knife does. I have a beautiful Cocobolo version. All it does is cut turkey and cut ham and prime rib. So, and that's a wonderful knife, a great blade for cutting meat, especially freshly killed meat. The only problem with the Kalahari 2, the handle's too skinny. So what Mike did is he did a pretty hefty Aurora handle on a little shorter blade. And it's perfect. So what we got, where is it? I can't find it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. 4 7/8 inches of blade. 4 9/16 inches of handle. 3V. Oh. So nice. And I think this is, yes, it is a first production run knife. This would have sold new at your favorite web retailer for about $230. It can be yours. $185 like it is. $210 with an ApostleP edge. It's the Bark River Aurora Hunter. Oh, by the way, sheath with fire steel, never been out of the bag. Next up, we have one from Great Eastern Cutlery. I forgot this knife was in here when I did my heads up video, so nobody called me to scream about it today because they didn't know about it. Model number 772115 in smooth ivory bone. Yep, it is a 77 Yankee Barlow. I purchased this knife brand new for my buddy James. Campfire Talk for you old YouTubers down there in Tennessee. He asked me if I could get him one. I called in a favor and I got him one. And this is it. It is a single spear, satin finish, no etch, long pull, 7.5 pull, man's pull. Perfect walk and talk, and centering is so close to perfect. It has also got my edge on it, and I think it's still a virgin. So this knife is, what, 6 years old? So James had tucked this knife away for his son, and his son has decided, knives are great, Dad, but I want to go go-kart racing. So we're selling some of the kids' stuff. So this is a knife with a little bit of history, a little YouTube history. And it's an extremely sought-after pattern. We're going to sell you guys this one, near mint in tube, for $350 like it is. No need to sharpen, already has my edge on it. The GEC Northfield number 77 Yankee Barlow TAP edge. Next up, another one for the Campfire Talks Kid Go-Kart fundraiser. This is a knife that James sent me probably 10 years ago. He sent it in a box of pieces, guys. This is an Enzo Trapper kit knife with D2 blade and gorgeous curly birch, brass pins, and red liners. I thought it was cool because James and I are both lefties. And if you notice, the birch is much more beautiful if you're left-handed looking at the show side, right? So I finished the knife and put it together. I contoured the handle. I put the thumb dents in rather nicely, I must say. I hafted it and I sharpened it. And it's scary. And it's been sitting there waiting for the kid to want to use it, and it never has been. So yeah, I think you can buy these knives finished. Not a kit, totally finished for like $130. I think this one's got some history. James bought the kit, Campfire Talk bought the kit, sent it to me. I assembled it, hafted it, shaped it, and that was like 10 years ago. And here it is in pristine condition, waiting for its next owner. Your price, $150. And this is going to be in your inventory as Enzo Trapper TAP Custom, the ApostleP Custom. $150. Next up, a very special Spyderco coming your way, boys. Spyderco box, but look at this. That signature is from Michael Janich. It is a Yojimbo 2, but not just any Yojimbo 2. It is a Michael Janich custom It's the Chicago Jimbo, personally customized by Michael Janich. They are created one at a time in very limited quantities by painstakingly customizing Yojimbo 2 knives. So I'll show you what that means here. So it looks like a Yojimbo 2, and then the blade looks kind of funny. I believe Chicago has a 3-inch maximum blade. Because, so what Mike has done is he has clipped the spine and then he's clipped the point to get you down to 2 5/8 inches of blade length. And it looks like he's also deepened the choil a little bit. So you've got the MJ etch up here, and then you've got the Michael Janich custom maker's mark. Action's free. Lockup is rock solid. I think the centering's off just a tick. Yeah, it's just a little bit favoring the left. So it is unused, and by the way, he also puts a pretty daggone nice polished edge on. I got a little tip roll right at the very tip, but I'm not even going to give you a sharpening price on this one. Okay, so this is going to be in your inventory as Spyderco Yojimbo 2 Janich Custom, and your price $150. $150 like it is. No need to sharpen. Next up, this is a beautiful knife. Wow. From the Viper Technocut family of knives. It's the V5510MO. And it's called the Viper Quality Lockback. And it's going to come in a beautiful Italian leather pocket slip that's never had the knife in it. And look at this beauty, would ya? Holy moly. You've got that Viper torsion bar lockback mechanism with the release way back here. Hammered titanium bolsters. Sheep's horn covers, beautifully matched. And then a tumble polished N690 blade. Blade length 3 inches. Handle length 4 1/16. Lockup is rock solid. Action is like butter. Like, oh. Centering is down the middle. It's beautiful in hand. Look at the file work, or file-like work. I'm telling you what, that thing's gorgeous. That is a Sunday go-to-meeting knife, man. Beautiful. Little tiny screws, flathead screwdrivers. Just gorgeous. Not Torx, but man, nicely done. Nicely done. This model is currently available brand new at collectorknives.net for $137. This one is near mint to like new in box. Can be yours. Shipped, priority mail, all in, no sales tax. $110 like it is. $130 with an ApostleP edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. Next up, oh gosh, it always breaks my heart when one of these shows up on my knife sale from Bark River Knives. Yeah, it's just a gunny sidekick in CPM 154. Yeah. One of my customers bought it new. Now she's selling it. Oh, bear with me in just a moment. Yep, she's selling it. And guys, it's a beauty. Look at the grinds on this knife. 4-inch blade. Super symmetrical unless you look in there, and then you got here, the plunges are a little off. Who cares? Dark curly maple handle. 4.5-inch handle. Gunny handle. Bixby blade. Broad clip point. Slicey son of a gun. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Condition on this is like new in the box. Would have sold for $230 at Knives Ship Free. The best place to buy knives, period. Now you can buy it shipped priority mail for $200, like it is $220 for the Apostle P's knife to have an Apostle P edge. That is the Bark River Gunny Sidekick in CPM 154. That brings us, my friends, to the last knife in the sale. And doggone it, you know, how many of these am I going to sell before I keep one? It's a little Spidey box. It comes from Taichung, Taiwan. Inside is a Chaparral FRN with a gorgeous gray FRN handle. If there's such a thing as gorgeous FRN, this is it. Deep carry paper clip, 90 thousandths blade stock, or 83. It's super skinny. Leaf shaped blade, CTS XHP. It is like new in the box. The lockup is perfect. The action is smooth. The centering is dead. I had one. I traded it to my buddy for a motorcycle back protector. You guys have until 9/12 to buy this, or I'm keeping it. And your price, $80, shipped priority mail, $100 with my edge on it. If somebody buys this for me to sharpen, I have to sharpen it and send it to somebody else, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. That, my friends, brings us to the end of another knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at her, boys, and a couple girls.